To use TMT codes, enter the code at the search prompt at www.jackboard.org and you'll be taken to the page it points to. In this video, we're going to learn about RC servos. These are very useful because they allow the JackBord to produce a physical motion. The servo's shaft can be made to move between an angle of 0 and 180 degrees. And as you can see in the video, that angle can be set to any value between 0 and 180 degrees. This is useful for making things like robotic arms. In part 2 of the series, we'll learn how to use the commands that actually make the servo move. If you want to skip ahead to part 2, use the TMT code shown on your screen. The main parts of the RC servo are the body, which contains the motor, the electronics, and the main gearbox. From this comes a cord with orange, red, and brown wires in it. And at the end of the cord is a 3-pin female connector. This wire carries 5 volts, ground, and data from the JackBord to the servo. Looking at the servo itself, the first thing we notice at the top is a white shaft. This is the part of the servo that actually turns. We can attach various accessories like these arms to the servo's shaft. Next, there are 2 brackets on either side of the servo with holes in them. These are used to bolt the servo to the JacKano servo mount. Don't ever turn the shaft of the servo with your hands. If you do, you risk stripping the gears and destroying the servo. When we open up an RC servo, we can see what's inside it and learn how it works. The first thing to note is the electric motor, and this is what actually takes care of the movement. The second thing is in the center here we actually have a small computer. This is what receives the commands from the JackBord and then uses them to control the motor. And this device over here is a variable resistor, and its job is to tell the computer whereabouts the motor's shaft is pointing. And finally, we have the gears which transmit the power from the motor to this part here, which is the shaft that we attach the arms to. And this cord is the one that plugs in to the adapter. The way it works is that when the JackBord sends a command to the servo asking it to say go to 90 degrees, it reaches the processor, and the first thing the processor is going to do is use the variable resistor to check where the arm is right now. If it's already at 90 degrees, it will do nothing. If it's either side, then the processor will work out how far it needs to move, and then it will command the motor to do so. And finally, once the shaft reaches the final destination, the variable resistor will tell the computer, and it will stop, and then it will hold that position. To use an RC servo with the JackBord, the first thing we need to do is bolt the dual RC servo adapter onto the JackBord. This device provides a way of letting you control 2 servos and also has built-in protection just in case you connect the power the wrong way around. The servo connects to the 2 sets of pins on the left-hand side of the adapter. The first servo connects to the green, red, and white pins, and a second servo can be connected to the green, red, and blue pins on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side are the pins that connect to the JackBord. First, the bottom pin is a red 5-volt pin. Above it is the green ground pin. And above that is the white control pin that controls the first servo. And finally, the blue pins on the top are used to control the second servo. Now that the adapter is bolted on, we need to connect the ground wire, which is the green one, from the adapter to the green pin on the power supply port. Next, we take a red wire and connect the 5-volt power pin from the adapter into 5 volts on the power port. And after that, we need to connect a white wire from the RC servo 1 pin on the adapter to port pin A1 on the JackBord. Now that we've made the connections, let's check them. First, we have the green ground wire going from the green pin on the adapter around to the green pin on the power board of the JackBord. Next, we have the 5-volt line going from the adapter, the red pin, all the way around to one of the 5-volt pins on the power board. And lastly, we have the white jumper wire going from the white pin into port pin A1 of the JackBord. To connect the servo to the JacKano mounting plate, you're going to need two M3 8mm long bolts and two nylon M3 nuts. To mount the servo on the JacKano servo plate, insert the cord through so that it goes all the way and then just press it like so. Then next we take the first of the M3 bolts and just pass it through the hole so it goes all the way through. And then we just attach a nut, so you're holding it with your finger on the other side to stop it from coming off, and get one of the M3 nuts and use the Allen key to tighten it. It only needs to be hand tight. Then get the second nut and bolt and attach the other side. Once you've finished, it should look like this. If the nylon nuts are on the right way, you should be able to see the nylon when you look from below. Finally, bolt the servo to the JackBord just above port B. To connect the servo to the adapter, plug it in like this. Once the servo is plugged in, your connection should look like this. Check it to make sure that they match. And notice how the brown wire is going into the pin that is the green ground pin, and the red wire is going into the red 5-volt pin. If we wanted to use a second RC servo, we would connect it into the second adapter as shown here. And also notice that we've got an additional blue control wire going from the second servo into port pin A2 of the JackBord. But for this video, we're only going to use one servo. Now that we've got our RC servo connected to the JackBord, in part 2, we're going to learn how to use it using the command line and using programs. The TMT code for part 2 of this video is shown on the screen. In the meantime, if you want any other information or are just curious, you can visit us on www.jackbord.org.